Welcome to the Days of Wild. Adore Cream is back with the Days of Wild video festival. We're going to be doing a whole week of Adore Cream videos for two reasons. One, because my partner's out of town and I can. And two, because I'm only working in the mornings, so I've got the afternoons off to do as I please. And three, because I want to grow the channel and maybe saturation of work. And four, I really want to deal out some of these projects. And so basically every day I'm going to upload a video. Okay, currently here in New Zealand it's Boxing Day, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Merry Christmas to everyone. I understand a lot of you are in the Northern Hemisphere and it's still Christmas Day, especially in America. Okay, I'm assuming that once you watch this, once it's uploaded, of course if you watch it several days later, no, can't be held responsible. Okay, so today we're going to talk about, we've been doing basically my fandom series. We've been doing basically a single and then an album. We started with Diamonds and Pearls and Cream, then we moved on to Sexy Motherfucker and Symbol, then we moved on to Adore and the Hits B-sides, and now we're moving into 1994 and we're going to talk about the most beautiful girl in the world. This is the song that came out probably before Come and the Undertaker. The next video will be about Come and the Undertaker. The third video of Days of Wild will be about something completely different, just to show you some versatility. And then the fourth video we're going to get into my favourite era, which is 1995. First thing in the fourth video, we're going to talk about some songs that came out before the Gold Experience. There were two of them that I bought at that year. That was Purple Medley, something I've completely forgotten about. I haven't heard any Prince commentators talk about this release called Purple Medley, which was kind of like a salvo from Warner's when Prince was going through a slave thing. And then also that, of course, and then of course I'll talk about the whole Exodus and the Get Wild experience. And then possibly, if I can even find a copy of it, the Versace experience. And then we're going to move into the Gold Experience, of course, the whole album. Okay, so that's for the next 4 videos. I'm still making my mind up about the last 3 of them, but we'll go off this one. Today we're going to talk about this song, The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, which to me is one of the most important videos, and songs ever made in Prince's career. To me it's very important because Prince was at a juncture at the time. By this time too, you weren't allowed to call him Prince. You had to call him the artist formerly known as Prince or Symbol, because apparently the pronunciation of the symbol was or something like that. But what happened though was Prince at this stage had basically released the hits. The hits had done fairly well. He wanted to release more music. Warner said no. He was having a fight with the company, and so what Prince did was he'd already taped up some of the songs for Come. He'd already taped up songs like Pheromone, something called Poem, which apparently was very erotic, Come, Orgasm. A lot of those songs were already in the can by late 93, and even in late 93 he had taped songs like Pussy Control, Shy and Now. But anyway, well, I call it Pussy Control anyway, because now it's P Control. It's like, Pussy Control, ow. And I mean, this music, this era, late 93, 94, this stuff is so funky. I think Warner's must have been bloody blind or deaf not to put this stuff out. But we're going to talk about this today. This is basically, this song to me is really important for a number of reasons, and I'll tell you why. I actually do remember at the time I was 17 going on 18, and I'm talking about geological ages in my music. I know in the last video I talked about the Bronze Age. I'm telling you, this is pushing me straight into the Iron Age. This is just before I start to interact with more people and I'm exposed to a bigger market, which is how you can probably really describe the impact of Rome upon Europe when the Romans came flying in. So this is definitely, we're into the Iron Age now. And anyway, so as we move into this era, we basically get this. And the history of the song goes right back to September 1993. Prince had already taped the song Most Beautiful Girl in the World. As you'll find out, there were multiple versions of the song. This is the very first one. And originally also Prince wanted to release it as a single there and then, but Warner's were too busy promoting the hits and they wanted to work on putting out Peach and Pink Cashmere as singles. So it sat in the can until February 1994. But in December 1993, what he did was he decided he wanted to make an amazing video, which was Who Could Be the Most Beautiful Girl in the World. Of course, the answer in reality was Mighty Garcia, but Prince wanted to salute woman's beauty basically all around the world. Prince is a lover of women. And he basically sent out a casting call. He wanted to put some people in a special video of the most beautiful girl in the world, which was going to be shot basically in LA at a recording studio. And basically over 50,000 women applied, sending in photos. And Prince chose 30 and he made up the video, which had Marva Collins in it. And I can thank the Prince vault for this next lot of info. Apparently it was going to be shot in LA on the 23rd of December 1993, but there was an earthquake which caused problems. So the whole thing was actually shot on the soundstage at Paisley Park on the 22nd of December 93. So that would have been great. All these women who came out with, you can see a lot of them are black and Latino, so they're probably from out, out Cali way. Had to fly into freezing Minneapolis in December to shoot the video, but they did get to shake Prince's hands. Long-time friend of Prince's, Marva Collins, who ran a school for disadvantaged black children in Chicago, was also there in the video. And I think Prince also gave her a huge donation as well. I mean, he'd already done concerts in the past where money had been donated to Marva Collins. I mean, this is proof that Prince was always there supporting African American people. You know, basically. I mean, Prince donated a lot of money to these causes over the years. You never hear about, you only hear about the bad things, but Prince was a lot like George Michael. He wanted to donate this money, but he didn't want it to be publicised. He felt like, as with George Michael, who was also very Christian, he felt like, that, good deeds have humility. Be a Samaritan from a distance, basically. So anyway, that was taped. So we're up to February 1994. And then basically 9th of February, the single was released in public, pretty much. So the original version of the single was The Most Beautiful Girl, and he was actually going to put New World on as a B-side. Now, New World, that's that song of Emancipation. Go, how we gonna make it in the new world? This is a sharper generation just for sex. But Warner said no. So he couldn't, so he just had to basically put in Beautiful, which was basically sort of like an instrumental breakdown of the song. Just like, oh, could you be the most beautiful girl? If beautiful, could you be? Baby, don't stop to the beat, don't stop. Beautiful, the most beautiful. But anyway, so that was turned out being the B-side. Okay, the original version was just out first, came the single, basically. And there was this, the 12-inch vinyl, which I was really happy to get. I got this a few years ago, and as you can see, what really angered Warner was this was not released under Warner Brothers. This was released through NPG Records, their first release, and distributed by a small independent label called Bellmark. And Warner's thought, it doesn't matter, it's all self-indulgent crap, it won't go anywhere. Big mistake here, Warner's. What happened was this turned out to be Prince's biggest hit since Cream. And to this date, this is Prince's last decent hit. It got all the way up to number 3 on the American pop charts, number 2 on the R&B. It went top 10 virtually around the world, but the big shock was it went to number 1 in 4 countries. 5 countries, actually, I thought of. There were 3 in Europe. Okay, the first 2 I'll name because the last one I want to discuss quickly and will affect Mr. Anson J and Violet Underground and all of my other British Prince friends. I'll have to take the cat out of the bag. But basically, went to number 1 in the Netherlands and Switzerland. Also went to number 1 here in New Zealand and also in Australia. But in Britain, it went to number 1 on the week of April 30th, 1994. The reason I'm doing attention to that is because after 36 attempts at trying to get a song to number 1, it finally reached number 1 on the British charts. It was Prince's first and only number 1 single. It spent 2 weeks at the top. Basically, it was knocked out of the cheesy song Lovers All Around by Wet Wet Wet, which unfortunately also early 94. Prince was kept out of the top in America and a lot of places because of stuff by Boys to Men, Wet Wet Wet, and also that horrible song All For One, I Swear. And I think there was even some horrible novelty dance nonsense. And finally, this was just after Kurt Cobain had died, so all this Nirvana crap was in the charts. I mean, I'm sorry, I know some of you love Nirvana. I think they were overrated, and I think the guy was a selfish little shit for taking his own life. I can actually remember I was at high school, I was in the last year. One of my mates who was just basically into all sorts of metal and grunge music actually wrote a piece in our school magazine saying that what Kurt Cobain did was selfish and a shameless waste of life, and I remember that very well. But I mean, it did affect a lot of people, this whole Kurt Cobain taking his life, and it kind of overshadowed Prince. I think maybe if none of those factors had happened, Prince might have got to number 1 in the American charts of this. Warners were really shocked because they weren't expecting it to be such a massive hit. And there's a bloody good reason why the song was a massive hit, because it's a bloody good song. I mean, Prince has got this beautiful falsetto. He's basically going, ooh, could you be the most beautiful girl in the world? You're the reason that God made a girl. Oh, yes, you are. In the day, when the day has been gone for all time, I will say, I hope you all need to be blind. Oh, ooh, could you be the most beautiful? If ever the stars could ever fall, one by one, I'll help them. Baby, this kind of you, it's got no reason to ever be shy, 'cause honey, this type of you, that love comes from inside. Could you be the most beautiful? So you've got Prince doing this deeper baritone growl, and in the back you've got Prince doing his best falsetto pretty much since, I don't know, since probably pretty much bloody Controversy or Dirty Mind. I mean, it's just layers and layers of vocal cream. Prince, again, he's stacking his vocals. He's multi-tracking his vocals, and as you all know, I mean, someone who likes songs like Adore and I Love You and Me, as Mr. Ants pointed out, I love it when Prince is doing shit with his vocals. You know, he's singing about 10 backing tracks, and he's mixing them all, he's stacking them all on top of each other. I mean, it's a Niagara of harmony music, and I mean, it was clearly obvious the song was aimed at Mighty Garcia. Things were getting pretty damn serious by this stage, but the song salutes female beauty, and it was a massive hit. So there you are, and basically what it did was restored Prince's stock in the charts for quite a while. I think a lot of people stopped laughing at him. They realised that this is a genius who could still make this amazing music. Basically, Warners, of course, were really pissed off because this music was all basically done through MPG Records. And I mean, it was a fluke though, because Prince would never have a hit this large ever again. Okay, he had a few songs off Emancipation and Gold Experience, which were released into the charts in some countries quite high, like in the top 20. But you'll see that they fell out of the charts very quickly. They lasted 2 or 3 weeks and they just went whoosh, sank like lead balloons basically. But this song started quite modestly and it rose slowly and it dropped slowly. This was an enduring hit. It actually went gold in the United States, which was rare by this stage for a song. I mean, basically we're getting into the early era of gangster and bling bling rap and girls with names like Aaliyah and Monica and all this yo 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 I wanna be down, you know, type music. And you heard R. Kelly singing about you remind me of my Jeep, I don't know why, that type of junk. And all Snoop Doggy Dogg singing about, you know, gin and juice and put your MF hands in the air and wave them all around like you just don't care, and singing songs like yo 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 if you give me 10 bitches and I fuck all 10, that type of rubbish. And every 12-year-old wannabe hood rap was getting into it, and the amount of tagging in our country just shot up overnight because of this thug rap basically. And also about the song too, that wasn't the only version that came out. Prince recorded no less than 6 different versions of this song. Okay, in May, this was some time afterwards. I mean, the single was not released until late March in the rest of the world besides America. Prince wanted it out by Valentine's Day '94. In May, they released A Beautiful Experience, which was an EP containing 7 versions of the song. The original, Beautiful, is the B-side, basically. Stacks of Wax is kind of like, you know, saxophone running through it. Eric leads. Mustang Mix is sort of like a guitar breakdown. You know, Flute Instrumental, that's another instrumental breakdown, which is beautiful. Okay, Sexy Saxophone and Guitar is also quite good. Mustang Instrumental. And then finally, the last part is The Most Beautiful Girl in the World by itself. This wasn't such a big hit, it was an EP. I loved the design though, as you can see. Okay, this one's actually quite hard to find. It's pretty much out of print. I only got to about number 90 on the charts, but it still did pretty well. And I mean, a lot of hardcore fans bought it. The main reason people bought it was because this is Prince's first attempt at messing around with computer graphics, as you can see. Don't you just love Windows 93 Photoshop and Paint? But you see, there you are, there's the object of his affections, 19-year-old Mighty Garcia, pretty much. And you know, the lyrics, you know, members of the band you see at this stage, you know, basically. You know, see, everything's evolving. Yep, of course, classic, iconic image of Prince, early '94. You've got the Typhoon, you've got his first of the many gold cymbal guitars. I mean, I think that guitar is just so fucking awesome, you know, yeah. And then you've got, you know, of course, the rhythm section of the MPG, Michael and Sonny, and this was actually, they actually got kept on after Prince's purge in '93 and went right through to '96. Yep. Okay, again, I mean, you know, this is when he started doing shit on the line, as you can see. 1-800-New Funk is the first appearance of this, because this was before the album came out. Remember, this is May 1994, basically. And then, of course, this is what the MPG, the new MPG of 1994 looks like now. You see, you stripped out the Game Boys, and he's just basically got Barbarella, he's got Levi, he's got Michael and Sonny, and of course Mighty is a full-time dancer now, and Prince is modelling his whole... This is when he started his whole pimp cane thing, as you can see. I mean, but Prince just looks so badass here. What do you guys think? Yep. And of course, you know, I mean, it was all about, we've got the symbol, let's do as much as we can with it. And there you are, the Exodus has begun, so that's kind of like an ad, you know, you reflect it backwards for, you know, what was coming up. By this stage, I'm saying mid-94, Prince probably already recorded most of the Exodus. So, you know, this is definitely Prince branching out beyond this Warner Brothers straitjacket. So, yeah, that's The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. I mean, you guys tell me what you think of it. I mean, I think it's an amazing song. I wonder if you guys also think about it too. And there you are, there's my first Days of Wild video. It's been some wild days. And, yeah, so have a nice Christmas, Boxing Day, all that. And be funky and stay wild.